Hey, what's up everyone? Then watch this video here for Thursday, December 19th, showing you the SPY. As we've been kind of saying, December, it's really dead. Look how narrow these last 2 days. The range has been ridiculously tight. That said, a couple highlights that Wayne called in chat today. One of them was Tesla hitting all-time highs. Called it long over this 390 seller. Right there was the entry, right through 390. Ended up going up $5 from there. Went up to what, 395.22 without really ever being underwater. Just a great call by Wayne. He also called NLTX on the second mouse. If you haven't seen all of our webinars, we covered this second mouse, I believe, in one of our webinars. If not, it'd be on Wayne's website. But right there through 1050, high of day just above is another catalyst, and pretty quickly to 1140. A couple of really nice calls by Wayne. Speaking of webinars, we finally have our new webinar together. So look down below if you're watching this on the web page. Down below, I'm going to have a link to get registered for our next webinar, which I actually think is going to be maybe the most beneficial free webinar we've ever done. I think out of all of them, it could probably be the one to take your trading to the next level. So it's going to be a really important one, and I think you're going to like it. So get registered for that. It is on, let me try to figure this out, January 9th. 7:30 p.m. So get registered, and it's free, and I think it's going to help your trading out a lot. So that is all. I think I'm going to go into the watch list here. So they're back to the SPY. Just remember the environment right now. Remember how dead it is out there before you start putting a whole bunch of size to work on any trade, right? ACST is on the list. You got kind of a 2-day high there, right over 240. I don't love this idea, but it just came from the low of this range it's been in. It came from the low of this range to the high of the range pretty quickly, but then gapped down today and then right back up. So it is kind of interesting over that 2-day high. Remember, as you watch my videos, I'm a day trader, so I am looking for stuff to trade tomorrow, right? I'm not, none of these are overnight holds. SYRS gave back a lot of its gains today, but certainly a big volume day for this one, closing probably right in the middle, maybe below the middle of the range. So I don't love it, but maybe a red to green works there tomorrow. We'll see if it gives a clean setup. PHAS, nice little breakout today on strong volume for the stock, topping out at 495. Certainly interesting for a red to green or something like that tomorrow. PRPO, not in love with this one, but it did have this nice volume spike yesterday, and today a quiet inside day on lower volume. Sometimes you get a third day play where it rips again. So that one goes on watch. JBL had the gap up on earnings, sold off, and then sold off again today. You almost have a gap fill already, but sometimes after a couple days of selling, a recent earnings play can turn right back up. So that one's on watch. Ciena, CIEN, had this big rip on earnings, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 red days in a row. Today's range was pretty narrow, so it might be time to start watching this for a bounce play. What I would like to see, and I'll switch to 15-minute candles to kind of illustrate this. Zoom in a little bit. So there's the big day, right? Then the very next day puts in its high, I don't know, 30 minutes in. The next day puts in its high for the day, still in the morning. The next day put in its high right at the open, never broke over that high, and then the same today. Put in its high in the opening 15 minutes, never broke over the high. So what I'd like to see, like a sideways action like this tomorrow, and then an afternoon break to the upside out of a range. A lot of times you get the crowd piling in and say, ooh, Ciena's going back up now. You can get a pretty decent trade on something like that. So that's my best case scenario to get me involved in that one. OMI, I'm not really in love with this, but it's been on bounce watch for several days. It did put in a green day today, and over today's high would be over 545, and you look to the left and you've got yesterday's high at 551. So you got a potential kind of 2-day high break. So I do want to watch it for that. And a kind of a similar chart, a little bit different, but you also have a possible 2-day high break in EXPR. Had a big squeeze here, and then it came back down on lower volume, right into that buy zone we talked about, and today's high, 504. Yesterday's high, 505. So a potential 2-day high break, and then maybe this thing starts marching back up. So watching that one. A few more. LK is really choppy, but it just a couple sessions ago hit all-time highs before giving a lot of that back. And next thing you know, we're curling right back up. It's interesting to me, over 32 tomorrow if that happens. Couple more now. CLNE, big pop yesterday, quiet inside day today, looking for that 2-day high break for some follow through. And then PRTK, nothing pretty about this chart except in after hours, it's trading at 490. So it's trading all the way up here. So obviously they had some good news. So a potential gap and go tomorrow. That's the entire list. Again, get registered for our next free webinar down below. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, there probably won't be a link below. So you can just shoot me an email, or if you follow me on Twitter or StockTwits, over the next week or so, I'll be posting the registration link there too. So shouldn't be too hard to find. All right, I'm done babbling. We'll see y'all tomorrow.